Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is Engineer Masood Akhtar Kiani, and today we have the technical session number 33, Asphalt Mix Design. So, what is the Asphalt Mix Design? Asphalt Mix Design is a process to manipulate three variables: aggregate, asphalt, and the binder. And the ratio of aggregate to asphalt binder with the objective to obtain a HMA is the deformation resistance, fatigue resistance, low temperature, crack resistance, durable resistance, moisture damage resistance, skid resistance. So what is the HMA? Hot mix analysis. So there are two main payments, which is the mix design. Of the mix design is the base course and the varying course. For the base course and varying course, our procedure is the same. We are considering the following parameters: percentage of bitumen, which is higher in the base course and the lower in the varying course. Then voids in mineral aggregate VIM. This is also for both mixes. It is the separate. Then voids in mix. This is the ratio in both mix. Varying course and varying course is the differentiated little bit base course high. VFB, voids filled by bitumen. This is the grade penetration, which is 60 to 70. How much the penetration grade is the mixed already, either it is 60, 70, 40, 70, whatever it is, according to the specification and the mix design parameter and the standards, relative standards requirements. Then mix density, what is the mix density? Then the Marshall density. And in this case, in the laboratory, we mix some 5-6 sets and take the average of all of these 6 sets and select the optimum bitumen content and what is the process. So before mix design briefing, I will go to the initial stage. There are hot bin and the cold bin in the asphalt. So physical properties of the hot bin and the cold bin aggregate, both we will take it as a suitability test to consider the maximum requirements of the physical properties, which are the aggregate crushing value, loss of abrasion, sulfate chloride, soundness, impact value, and gradings. The individual gradings, all the ingredients we will take from the cold bin and from the hot bin, because in the hot bin temperature is very high and that aggregate change its shape. Some flyable particles are burned and the loss of weight exists there, and some stones broke into many pieces. Then it will affect on the grading. So first of all, we will consider the individual gradings. Then is the combined grading with some fractions. Then it will be the blend grading of the complete mix. Blend grading will every type of the mix, like 1 mm, 1.5, 1 inch, 1.5 inch, 316, whatever from the sequence we will discuss later. According to that one, the percentage will be the fixed and the blend will go according to that percent. And if we get the desirable results for all of these 6 or 5 sets which are prepared in the laboratory, then we can graphically draw and we can take the figure. So based on the adjustment percentage, number 30, see passing number 30, for given mix design, the final operation of the computing of the lab batch weights, some weights of the aggregate in each batch of the trial mix series. In this case, the only variable of the amount of the asphalt to be blended. First step is to determine the blend proportion of the size fraction and the proportion of the mineral filler required to the approximate of the original trial blend. Wash sieve to original trial blend. Wash sieve analysis of the aggregate fraction and the blend proportion required for an example after desired blend proportion of each aggregate fraction. The asphalt cement required the total amount of mix suitable for the preparation of individual test specimens. Asphalt content is required, the required percentage with a dry aggregate to fill the same amount of the aggregate. Asphalt paving design aggregate gradation is also a main factor, which is called the power gradation and the 0.45. And this power gradation, which will be more strong, and our pavement should be load responsible for the 3 axle trailer, 2 axle trailers, and whatever the loads coming every second. There is some load coming due to the traffic flow. Then it will be analysis for if it is meet with that standard. Then we can select this one on the basis of the durable test. So aggregate percentage is the main factor for this blend, and the combined gradation also, it is also a power plus of the blend also. For the base course, maximum size is 1 inch, then 3/4, then 3/8, then number 8, number 4, number 8, 30, 100, and 200. It will be going according to the sequence. Hello? Okay. Then there is job mix formula and the specification of the contract, and over gradation will first, it will cover in the contract specification, then it will the overall, it will be the cover with the job mix formula. And the job mix formula, if all these aggregates are coming in the range, then it will be the very, very strong mix design. So the base course and the varying course, only difference is the size of the aggregate. In the base course, there is 1 mm, sieves is 100%, or sometimes it will be little retained. And the base course, varying course, only 20 mm aggregate passing, and all this limits are the same. So we will analyze the individual grading and the blend grading and the combined grading, and all of these are coming in the, if all of these are coming in the parameters, then it will be the selection of the good mix design. Then visual inspection of the aggregate available must be satisfied quality of the regards to the hardness, shape, and the free of the clay and the other exterior matters. Specific gravity is also determined at the corridor, the aggregate grading, and each size. Specific gravity, also there is the normal specific gravity of aggregate, and there is one GMM. GMM means this aggregates are coated with the asphalt. Water will not go inside, penetrate the aggregate. It will be the only on the outer surface of the aggregate, because the aggregate are coated. As in the asphalt regular mix, the aggregate never get the water from the outside because it is coated by the bitumen. So this is the GMM, which is a very, very important to use the GMM value for the specific gravity in order to get the good results. The passing 200 mesh also content in the best determination of the grading and the protection of the control of mix. A little stage there will be not sufficient time to carry out the wet sieving and the better standard from the testing throughout the testing series. The obtain the loss apparent density and the aggregate which can be done to know the volume of the aggregates in order to the different methods, radi density and the shaking and jigging and whatever it is, the densities are the required according to the standard. This will be done. And there will calibration of the cold and the hot bend asphalt, and all these parameters are able to select from the ongoing stockpile aggregates which are around the pile and which can be used in the future. The bitumen property is mostly the properties should be known by the specific gravity, temperature, viscosity relationship, and the important stage of the determination to correct the mix correct temperature, and should be obtained from the viscosity determined in the different temperatures. Aggregate properties are also aggregate property, physical property, and the mechanical property and the chemical property, which are the testing. It should be verified from all the raw materials and ingredients, and then it is going to the blend. And if the specific gravity of the mixed aggregate is to blend, should be found, determined separately each aggregate, and the combining with the following for specific gravity. This is one you can use the formula and the calculate, and to get all the required ranges, which specific gravity of the two, apparent specific gravity and the bulk specific gravity. We can use the average of the apparent and the bulk. That can be also used where the GMM is not used. So these are all the graphical requirements, and we can draw, and then the compacted mix design, and it will be tested after 24 hours according to the system, and then the mix will be selected on the basis of this one. If it is give the good results within the job mix formula, within the specific standard of the asphalt, and within the contract specification, then we can select this mix for the proposed project, and we can use also. So this is mainly the process. So then we can determine the optimum bitumen content is we can determine the percentage of whites contents, and the final compacting VIM, VFP, white filled bitumen, whites in mineral aggregates, whites in total mix. And this is also graphically, it will be solved. We can try to describe where it is very difficult, but there is a formula to use this one in numerically and graphically both, and take the value from there. So this was the basic concept of the asphalt mix design, and then it will go to the plant, and the plant will use these parameters in the running condition and the daily production. And after mixing, the testing is also going on, which is for hot mix test, which is the extraction, compaction of the Marshall core test. So whatever it is, and we will have to continue another 1 or 2 session for the asphalt. So this was the briefing about asphalt, and I would like to request you to subscribe the video, and thank you very much, and have a nice day. Thank you very much.